going to explain regarding the managerial economics, significance of managerial economics. So, last class we have seen regarding the what is managerial economics, and now we want to see what is an importance regarding the managerial economics. As we know, this managerial economics itself will deals with the managemental activities or the managemental issues to be solved. So for that we have to consider here that how these managerial economics will help for the management in case of solving the different issues in the organization. So some of the important significance of the managerial economics is business planning, cost control, price determination, and business prediction. And we can see here the profit planning and controlling, inventory management, and also the managing the capital, along with other preliminary significance or importance is also there in case of this managerial economics for the managing of any organization. So these are the some of the significance where we can enumerate in detail. So the first one comes under the business planning. So the managerial economics has a more importance upon the contributing to the business organization in case of formulating the plans and better decisions. So as we know that here the economics will contribute the topper management what to be formulated, the plans. So what is required? So what are the problems or what are the issues arised in the organization? So for that, these organizations, these economics will provide us different alternatives or the solutions in order to formulate a perfect planning. And at the same way, here the managerial economics will also give us a better decisions. As we said that when we want to formulate any sort of the plans, we has to analyze the different types of alternatives present in the plans. So when we analyze the different alternatives, we'll find out the one or the other better decisions. Maybe we have any three alternatives. Then we say that the first alternative will be fit to my organization. Yes. Or the second alternative, third alternative. So like this, when we are formulating or when we are giving the plans in the organization, our decision making will get a lot of alternatives. So we analyze the each and every alternatives and then we go to take the decision. And at the same way, while we are planning, as we know, this business planning is always, it is uncertainty in environment. So where future may happen or may not be happen. So 100% when we are planning, the first thing is we have to analyze the demand and forecast the future business activities. So analyzation of the demand, it means we have to identify the external environment where we have to see that our products are suited in the external environment, or maybe what are the dynamical changes which has been occurred in the external environment. So by analyzing those changes, we have to see that what is the demand of my product. Once we identify or forecast what is the external environment is there, is demand and supply is suited to the external issues or external changes, then we can go for our business plan. Maybe if that external environment is different and our business plan is different, then we can't formulate that plan. So that's why, first of all, we should analyze when we are having a business planning formulation, better decision making, or maybe when I want to analyze the different alternatives, the first analyzation goes for the demand forecasting. So as we know, the forecasting is a predicting of the future businesses activities. So these predicting will help us to identify that a perfect planning nature, such that what is the external environment changing. Based upon that changes, I can modify my organizational plans and also helps to meet the organizational goals. So, in this way, the managerial economics will signifies in taking the or in modifying our business plans. And the next one comes under the cost control. So one of the important objective of every organization is to control the cost. So the main motive of every organization is to get the profits. There are two ways of getting the profits. So one maybe we can increase the price. As we know, increase the price of the commodity. And another thing maybe decrease the cost. Yes. So as we can see that cost control is nowadays each and every organization's important motive or important thing. Why? Because no organization want to increase the price in the external environment. Once they increase the price, automatically the competitor will attack the external environment. Maybe they decrease the price and they can sell their more products in the market. So that's why every organization want to see that decreasing the cost, which we'll call as a cost controlling. So it plays an important role by the managerial economics in every business organization. So as we says that there are many types of techniques in case of cost control, like cost reduction and cost prevention. One is reduction techniques, where we can say that reduce the cost by unnecessary wastage to be eliminated. And another one is the cost prevention, where we forward or front itself only we prevent some sort of unnecessary expenses. Means we evaluate or we ourselves will remove some sort of expenses which are incurred in the organization. So any of the method where we can decrease the cost. And at the same way, while we are going for these cost controlling techniques, we has to analyze and decide the production activities. So why we want to go for these production activities, in the sense as when I want to reduce the cost or prevent the cost, first I should identify that what is the process of production. So which phase or which area where I can decrease the cost. Only when the sequence of activities or sequence of production we can understand. When we understand, only we are able to do. So that's why we have to identify that the cost related terms in the production when I want to decrease the cost. So where the organization was involved in spending more amount of cost or more amount of expenditure. So that's why we have to properly analyze and decide that the production activities where the cost is incurring more or less. And at the same way, we have to make it sure that all resources which we are utilizing in the organization must and should be effectively utilized. We can't say that only money is the term which where we should decrease, which or where we has to decrease. But when you have been effectively used each and every resource in the organization, maybe like raw materials, maybe utilization of the power, other expenses in the organization, these methods also we can eliminate some sorts of cost. So that's why this managerial economics will provide the ways or make sure that how effectively each and every productivity resources has to be maintained. And at the same way, these maintenance of effectiveness will provide to reduces the general cost of the organization. So this is the second thing where we are able to see regarding the managerial economics importance is the controlling of the cost. And the third one we can determine here like price determination. So one of the another aspect which comes under this managerial economics is to control the price. So not only the price controlling means doesn't mean that decreasing the price or increasing the price. Here the price determination. So what is the price we want to set in the external market? So that to be identified. Why? Because the basic thing for the demand variation in the external environment is the price, where the competitors always ready to attack in the external market only by decreasing of the prices. So at the same way, basically the consumer is also found to get the products at a lesser price. So every organization must and should be careful while setting its price, where the importance of managerial economics is given in the price determination. So in this determination, we see the setting of the proper prices, which is a key decision to take in every business organization. Why already I have said that the competitors are ready to take part in the external market. So that's why our price must and should be set in a very prescribed sense. Why? Because it is the thing which will attract the external customers. So we should consider different types of cost reduction and prevention techniques which we can decrease the cost of the production, and we should evolve a price in the market such that that price should not be more in the when we attack the competitors, and at the same way it should also gives us a basic profit, what our margin of the profit, what an organization was setting. And at the same way, this price determination in the managerial economics relates to the distributing the data to the manager to decide the proper prices of the products. So here, where the organization will get a direct information relating to the external market is the from the distributors or maybe the managers who are working or who are moving in the markets. So the managerial economics will use the proper plan or the proper way how we can get a data from the managers. So once we get in a reliable data from the external environment, from the markets who deals with the consumers, wholesalers and the retailers, automatically from them we can get the different aspects what the consumer is opting, and at the same way based upon his requirement we can set the proper price of the products, where we can decrease a little bit to margin of the product, or sometimes when we are having a lot of demand in the external market, automatically we can increase the price of the product. So here the price setting plays an important role while taking the decision in every business. And the next one is business prediction. So here prediction in the sense we can call it like forecasting. So business forecasting. So it is also one of the important. This is a prediction in the sense we call like forecasting. So which we can see that these managerial economics could be, it is through the appliance of various economical tools and theories which helps the manager in predicting the various future uncertainties. So where we can see here that future uncertainties. So the business prediction in the sense business forecasting. So as we have seen that the managerial economics whatever it want to tell in case of business forecasting, it is based upon the some tools and techniques, as we have the basic theories of management and some we use the statistical and the mathematical tools in order to solve the different issues in the organization. So with these tools and the theories we'll forecast the external methods. So external demand for every product. So every business want to forecast through some definite methods which an organization has been followed. So through these methods they want to forecast and want to assess the data. So which these data will helps for the managers in predicting the various uncertainties, means future unknown risks what we has to be faced here. uncertainty risk in the sense sometimes we has to face some loss or any other thing. But uncertainty is the thing where we cannot say that conformly it will happen or conformly it won't be happen. So some challenges, uncertainties in the name of challenges where the organization has to be faced. Maybe example, some new product or alternative product to my product was developed with a less cost. Automatically, the people who are purchasing my product may shift it to that product. So I has to forecast in the external market, and at the same way, I has to identify that what sort of risk or what sort of uncertainty is there, and what are the ways we can overcome that uncertainty regarding our product. So here the managerial economics itself will gives to its theories and methods relating to the predicting of the future uncertainties. And at the same way, these forecasting having many tools and techniques like statistical forecasting, like experts methods, Delphi techniques. So different various methods are there. So through these methods, we can detect, that is timely detection of uncertainties, means when it was able to happen. So the time we can detect by these forecasting in the external environment. So with these we are able to take some necessary actions or necessary steps in order to avoid any sort of loss or the damage which was coming to the organization. So this business prediction will help us to avoid the future loss or the future damages in future damages with the help of forecasting the events in the market. And next one we can comes under these managerial economics is like profit planning and control. So as we have seen that every organization's main motive is to earn the profit. So we has to plan that profit. So these economics will tell us to plan and manage the profits of the organization through different ways and the methods. So we has to plan. So what are the way we are getting? So of the profit. So maybe what percentage of the profit is required. So for that we has to estimation of accurate cost and the revenue to be identified to earn a specific level of profits. Maybe as we know that there are the different market structures, and these market structures we can earn like normal profits, abnormal profits, and sometimes supernormal profits. So when we want to earn one type of profits, maybe normal profits, so then we has to identify that what is the break even point, that is no profit and no loss, where the exact revenue meets the exact cost. So at that time we can see that what is an equilibrium position, based upon that we can identify the normal profits. Or when I want a super normal profits, then I has to plan. So which way? Maybe increasing the production, or maybe increasing the price, or reduction of the cost. So one of the methods such that I can increase my profits. So here we have to plan. So what range of the profit is required, and what are the ways or the tactics or the techniques to be followed in order to reach that profits. So along this planning, the cost control plays an important role. As we have seen in the above one, that is controlling of the cost, where we can done through cost reduction and also the prevention techniques. So when I want to reduce the cost or unnecessary or the wastages to be eliminated in the production, automatically we can reach the whatever the target the organization has been kept. So in this way we can plan the profits through controlling of the cost. And the next significance of this managerial economics is inventory management. So as we have been finding out that the every organization comprising the production process itself comprising of 60 to 70% of the inventory. So inventory means it's which help not only in case of raw materials, the materials which was used in the process of production, and also the finished goods. So when we have got the raw material, work in progress, finished goods, all everything, each and every point of the production where the material used, we'll call it as an inventory. So that's why every organization or management want to give more importance for the inventory, where it's place a more cost in case of total production. So where we are so careful in case of inventory, automatically we can decrease the total or maximum costs in the production. So every organization objectives rest in the proper management of inventory. So if the managing of the inventory is done in a perfect manner, automatically it will ensure the continuation of the business activities. Means timely getting of the raw materials or timely sending the production out of the godowns to the market. So when these planning of the inventory is perfect, automatically the production process will also go in a smooth functioning. If inventory is having some sort of disturbances, for examples, we have ordered the raw materials, it was not at all come in a time. So then automatically the labor will wait for the raw materials. So the production, the time of the production will be wasted. So we has to maintain or we have a proper management. So that's why we must and should have a multiple vendors. Means different raw material suppliers must and should be there. If one got any sort of problems, another person will supply the raw material. So that's why we have to maintain the multiple vendors, which will help for the continuation production process without any sort of disturbance, which will helps to continue or the smooth flow of the business activities in the organizations. And another one is these inventory management, which is a basic in order to analyze the demand and production activities to be performed. So based upon the raw materials, whatever we are getting or required materials for the production, we are able to produce the goods and services. So we can analyze. So based upon the demand only, we can order the materials what we have required in the production. So which will help us to conform or which will help us to maintain our activities, business activities should be performed in a perfect schedule. And at the same way, these inventory we has to make arrangements to get a qualified goods or the qualified inventory which usually available within the businesses. So the arrangements are made sure. So we should not see that maybe whatever comes first we can utilize. First we should see that what is the quality of the materials, and arrangements should be done in order to get the qualified raw materials or maybe the other required direct and indirect materials. So that the right quantity which should be come at the right time will helps the organization or the production process to run very smoothly. So in this way, this inventory management is very much essential for every organizations to reach its objectives. And the next one is managing the capital. So as we know that every organizations, the primary resource is the capital in order to start each and every organization. So these managerial economics will help the organizations to take the decisions relating to the firm's capital. So we have a different types of capital getting. Maybe we can get money from the owners funds. We can call like maybe in the form of equity. We can get through the external market, or some of the capital where we can gather through banks or the borrowings from the other financial institutions. And at the same way, we have the different methods like debentures and other types of securities where we can give in the market and gather some sort of capital. and another will have like a retained earnings. So this is also one of the method where we can gather the capital. So here the economics will give us the various modes and the methods where we can capital or gather the required capital and manage the capital in an effective manner. And at the same way, it properly analyzes to invest the avenues before investing any amount into them and makes the sure the profitability of the investment. Means where we can see the various opportunities. Maybe I have told the different modes of capital. Maybe gathering the amount through shareholders in the form of equity shares, or maybe getting a loan from a bank. So where we has to analyze each and everything. So when you comes under here, the shareholders, so it's given the shareholders was not mandatory to provide or to give the profits in the form of dividend every year. So if organization is getting profits only, it will allow some amount of the profits in the form of dividend to the shareholders. But the every shareholders will see the external increase of the share value in the market, and they will satisfy with that also when case the organization doesn't allow any sort of profits in the form of dividend. But when you comes in case of debt or maybe borrowed money from any bank, where 100% we should pay the interest to the banker, may the organization get profits or may not it gets the profits. So that's why here the managerial economics will use the alternatives of getting the capital, and before investing the capital, so how to refund and what rate of interest or the we has to pay upon that capital, and what is organizational expected return. So what sort of return we are getting out of our investment will be examined clearly, and then we'll make sure that that organization was profitable, getting more rate of return than what the amount of the interest we are paying. Then we can go for the investmental activities. So here the managerial economics will surely gives the different alternatives to analyze our profitability in the investment. And at the same way, this managerial economics was very much important for every management in order to analyze all the issues relating to the profit, investment, inventory management, and internal various aspects to be solved. So along with these enumerated significance aspect, we have other areas where these managerial economics is very much important or significance. So some of the other areas of significance is like it improves the performance. So as we know that these economics help us to enhance the performance as an aid to assistant while discovering and eliminating waste in the organization. As we have seen that controlling of the cost where we can done through the cost reduction and prevention. So with these different alternatives, the manager of the organization will have get some information or the assistant. So relating to discover that which way we can decrease the cost, where which way we can the resources to be effectively utilized, and we can eliminate the different sort of unnecessary wastages. So we can say the organizational performance can be improved only when the managers or the people get some assistant. So these economics, managerial economics will provide like an aid or assisting factor to the different managers in order to improve their performance in an effective manner. And another one is complete efficiently. So here what the manager have in a completely efficiently, he can correct himself or helping them to understand relating to the internal cost and other aspects At the same way, the manager can also get some aid or assistance from the external environment where he can understand relating to the competition what the product or the organization is facing, and based upon the competitions. So we are in a perfect competition, or our product is monopoly, or maybe it relates to the oligopoly. So based upon the different market structures, different types of competition will be existed. So not only the manager having an internal assistant, at the same way external information is also provided by these managerial economics, that what type of competition was existed in the external market, and what are the ways we can eliminate this competition for external market. And at the same way there are some techniques which we can perform in the external markets to eliminate or to decrease the competition, or where we can be ahead of the competitors. So this economics will give a complete review in order to improve our efficiency and performance by considering some sort of techniques to be followed. So these tools and techniques will be provided by these managerial economics for overall increasing the performance of the organizations. So along with that, some techniques or the tools where we can say like make higher strategic choices. Here strategy in the sense we know the strategic plans, that is managemental plans. So where we call like strategic plans in the sense like some sort of tactics or the ways we follow in the markets. So here the managerial economics will makes to have higher strategic choices, means different alternatives was provided by these managerial economics to support them to recognize the long-term implication of their selections. So here the managerial economics, here the strategic or higher level of strategic means where we can get a support from the top level management. Not only the support from the middle and lower level, the higher level people also gives the support, maybe in case of sales, enhancing of the sales, or maybe increasing some sort of or giving some financial supporting for marketing tactics. So like this means the long term implication while we are selecting any sort of plans, the top management will also come together and help us to analyze that which is perfect, such that we can attack the competitors, such that we can overall increase the efficiency of the organization. And another thing where we can identify here is pricing. So along with the strategic plans, one of the important aid where we can a reputation for the organization we can call like pricing. So it will assist the managers in setting the expenses such that it will maximize the profits. So means decreasing or the expenses should be in a minimized sense. Only when the expenses are minimized, we can increase or maximize the profit. Yes. So when the managerial economics can assist in setting of the expenses to maximize the profits. So only when we have been identified that, the manager can see that what sort of expenses to be setted. Maybe not only in the production, for the external marketing expenses where we has to identify or where we can decrease by wholesale selling, or wholesalely we are providing the goods to the people by providing some sort of offers, such that the expenses relating to the marketing could be decreased by wholesale selling, or maybe providing some sort of discounts to the people, such that the level of the profits could be increased. So we have to identify here the another important one like pricing. The decision making relating to the price was very much important. It is the only thing which will gives us profits or maximizing the profits for the organization. And the next related feature for overall efficiency is the production. So as we know that managerial economics will assist the management to develop or managers to take the decisions relating to the ways of production and services in greenest manner. Means our production must and should seize the profit, but at the same way environment and pollution free must and should be there. We should not create any sort of hazards to the public or to the external environment. So production should be done in the process where we are minimizing the uh, different types of waste, and at the same way taking precautionary methods in or while we are eliminating these waste, and it should not create any sort of external problems or environmental problems, and should maintain greenery in the external environment. So in the production, these managerial economics also suggest these sorts of methods to produce the goods and services in greenest manner. And the next one comes like marketing. So in case of marketing, the manager is given an assistant to develop the advertisements techniques. So marketing in the sense 100% we have seen these advertisements. So which will attains the targeting customers and booms the sales. So when I want to reach the targeting customers, so which way or the effective mode of communication is through advertisement. Maybe there are the different modes of advertisement, but based upon the nature of my product. So which advertisement will be attract the customers? So which make us to identify or where the customer will easily identify. So that type of ads and advertisements to be we maintain or to be formed within the organization such that the customers will easily attract. So the main advertisement technique is discount. Whatever we see the markets, maybe from a vegetable to the higher jewelry showroom, each and every there they will flash the advertisement with the discounts. So we are giving some sort of discounts where you will safeguard your money. So we has to identify marketing techniques like giving in a prompt advertisement or maybe the customer attracting advertisement which will increase the sales in the market. And the next important one enumerate relating to the finance. So as we know that money is most important now, not only to form the organization and also provides the profits for the every organization. So here this managerial economics helps the manager to select the best way of capital investment, means avenue or the resources where we can collect the capital and the best way of utilization of the capital, and we should carefully maintains the budget, that is the revenue and expenditure of the organization. So the carefully managing of this revenue and expenditure will not only provides the profits for the organization, it will also gives the name and fame to the external markets through goodwill, seeing that organization maintains providing regular profits. The customers are very much attractive when the organization is in profit motive. They feels that we are getting a qualitative products. Only the shareholders will feel happy when organization is profit unless they will get the dividend. So in this way, the financial maintenance and the management is perfectly enumerated by the managerial economics. And next one is the risk control. So as we have the different uncertainties in forecasting, prediction techniques and the methods where the future uncertainties could be identified. So here the managerial economics will assist the manager in perceiving and also investing the dangers, maybe the uncertainties. When I forecast the external market where I can understand. So what is the future of the external market and what are the different types of threats coming in the external market. So based upon that forecasting, I am able to, that is investigating the dangers in the sense where I can see the uncertainties and prepare some sort of methods or challenging aspect in order to remove that uncertainties. And we have the different techniques which is provided in the managerial economics to meet or to risk free the organization. And the broadening the techniques, it intimate those risk, means it will minimize with the help of the different types of managemental tools and techniques. The uncertainties or the future dangers in the markets could be minimized, or sometimes we can go for alternative methods such that the danger will not come to my organization. So like this, with the help of forecasting and the prediction, we are able to identify this risk controlling through controlling the uncertainties and the risks in the market. So these are the some of the reference, and thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.